Y tú que te creías el rey de todo el mundo. Y tú que nunca fuiste capaz de perdonar.
The Call to Higher Service exhibit was created in about 2009 by the board, and this exhibit is to honor McAllenites that have been very impactful during their life. They've done something to really make an impact in McAllen or our region. And then this year we started working on the exhibit to honor Roland Garcia, who was our first musician from this area to be honored. And he had a long and very impactful career because of the type of music that he developed. It was so woven into the Mexican sounds of ballads and the corridos that we all grew up hearing, but he put a spin to it and created country music that it was very danceable. People loved listening to it. And you know, it's funny that up to today, he still has so many fans and people that love him.
Tengo que buscar una linda mujer que sepa lavar y sepa planchar. Tengo que buscar una linda mujer.
Hello, my name is Rene Gonzalez Jr. I'm Country Roland's grandson, and we want to welcome you to the Call to Higher service exhibit here at the McAllen Heritage Center. I'm going to give you a quick little tour about the exhibit featuring my grandfather for the next 6 months, Country Roland Sr. I guess we can start off right here. In this case, it's one of his favorite jackets. He used to wear this one a lot. It's featured in one of the pictures there that you see, in his cowboy hat. His belt is down here with Garcia and his belt buckle Roland on there. One of several awards and plaques that he received throughout his musical career. In 1980, the Mike Chavez Chicano Music Award. Also some of the albums, 45s, that were featured throughout his career. Also the top one there with Roca Records, the Country Roland Band. Hace un año was the first song that put my granddad on the map. Linda Mujer is also there, and maybe we can take a quick look over this way. In this case, there's just a few little articles of his career. He was the county fire marshal for several years. He also worked for the McAllen Fire Department. I want to acknowledge the Edinburgh Fire Department, Chief Snyder, and the Edinburgh Fire Department loaned us some of the stuff that you see here that my grandfather used as a fire marshal. Over here we have a photo album, kind of scrapbook that was put together by my mom, Judy, and myself. You see that picture at the beginning? My mom wrote, "Daddy practicing with his friends." He was using the first guitar he ever owned. My grandmother worked real hard to buy that for him. And that was one of his first guitars. It was a Gibson. There's one of the business cards, one of his first business cards. When he first started with his friends, he was known as Country Roland and the Valley Boys. And as we go through here, just a few pictures. They also were featured several times on a local TV show called Fanfaria Falcon. And there's a picture of them in the studio, television studio. There's some shows that they did opening for Mickey Gilley, Eddie Rabbit throughout the years. Also a mock album cover and some pictures. They recorded for ARV International and Falcon Records. That was locally here in McAllen in the Valley. Some more pictures as you go through here. He received an award by then. Back in the day, KIWW, if many of you all remember, he was given an award by Raul Hernandez for his contributions to the music industry. Here on this wall back here are several mock album covers that they recorded throughout the years for ARV International, Falcon Records. This album in particular right here was recorded, I believe, in 1975 in Corpus Christi. They went to back up a fellow local musician, and during that recording session, during a break, the producer walked in and asked my granddad, "Hey, is this all you do? Do you just back up local people?" And my grandfather says, "No, we have a band. We're the Country Roland Band, and we play locally." So the producer says, "Well, give me a little taste of what you do." My grandfather says, "Hey guys, let's kick it off, Hace un año." Hace un año. They started playing it. The producer says, "Whoa, wait a minute." He says, "I like what I'm hearing." He told the engineer, "I want you to take this." So that version of Hace un año on that album was the first one that day in that recording studio. I don't remember the date, but Hace un año, my grandfather referred to fondly as La Revolución de la Onda Tejana. And that's the song that really started his career, was his first hit.
Ese tiempo tan feliz no vuelve ya. Mi cariño
Down here is a chair that he used in his later years. He had to sit down a lot. He was a very tall guy, and by then, 2003, he'd been doing this for several years, nearly 50 years, and he requested that we get him a chair, so Gori had that made up, and this is the chair that he used to use on stage in his later performances. This piece over here, we decided to include this in the exhibit. My grandmother, Aurora Ayala Garcia, Mrs. Country Roland Sr., loved to do embroidery and needlework, and Amazing Grace was, if not my grandfather's favorite song, one of the two of his favorite songs. And she embroidered that for him several years ago and gave it to him as a gift, and we decided to include that for you all. In this case here, we just included some awards, some plaques. He was given in 2003 by the city of McAllen. He was given a key to the city for his contributions to the Tejano country music industry. Also that year, when he was presented at La Villarreal Event Center, he was given the honor of, it was a tribute to a living legend for all of the years of his service in the music industry, I guess. He was honored that night. Just several awards here. Here, Classic Country Roland was a CD that he recorded, actually the band recorded in about 2008. In this case here, we just included some pictures of my grandfather and my grandmother, Mr. and Mrs. Country Roland, throughout the years. My grandmother was an avid supporter, and she pushed whatever, for the band all the time. Whatever they needed, they had the best equipment. It was her idea to put the children in the band. She said they were having problems with local musicians would call at the last minute and say, I can't make it, or I got to cancel, or this or that. And my grandma says, hey, we have plenty of kids, so why don't we put them in there? And that's how they started. My mom started playing bass when she was 12 years old, going on 13. We also included this award when he was inducted to the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame in Alice, Texas in 2003. He was given that award. Here also too, in 2004 in the Edinburgh Walk of Fame, Country Roland band Country Roland was honored with the Star of the Walk of Fame. Also down here, the Rio Grande Valley Walk of Fame with State Farm Arena. He was honored with that. There's his Bible. He loved to read his Bible. He did that all the time. He was at home in his recliner watching old westerns and reading his Bible when he wasn't doing anything else. And there's a picture of my granddad too in a 18-wheeler. He was a truck driver for several years. A lot of people might not know that, but that was one of his passions, driving 18-wheelers. On behalf of my family and the Country Roland family, we want to thank everybody for all the years of support and love that you have had for my grandfather. It means so much, and it's very moving and touching. A lot of times we take for granted, or us being his family, somebody comes and says, oh wow, Country Roland was your granddad, or Country Roland's your grandfather, and we're just like, yeah, he was just a man, but it hits you sometimes, wow, he left an impact. So for those of you who don't know or didn't know him, my advice is go find a CD and listen to it, and a lot of times his music says it all, So we want to thank you. We love you. Thank you so much for all of your love and continued support.
And I, for one, was a huge Country Roland follower. And so I can speak to that. And so we're real proud to have this exhibit in our museum, and because that's what we do. It's our mission to honor history, and he's part of our history in McAllen and in our region, and really worldwide, quite frankly. So that's a little bit about what we're doing with this exhibit. It'll be ongoing and it'll be rotating, continuing to honor other people, physicians, other city leaders in different walks of life and different impacts that they made in their lifetime. The museum, we're open from Wednesday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. We can be reached at 687-1904. On Saturday, we open at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have a website. It's McAllenHeritageCenter.com. You can go there just to see our calendar, activities, things coming up, things we've done, and then pictures about events or exhibits that we have. We love getting phone calls for people that want to give us donations. We're always working on new exhibits. We're working on a new exhibit right now to cover the Booker T. Washington High School here in McAllen that closed in 1957. Hope to have that exhibit ready by June. So always lots of good suggestions coming our way. Donations, we love them. We had somebody wanting to offer us some encyclopedias. We'll take them. We're looking for McAllen High School yearbooks to complete our collection and other things. So call us. We need your donations, both monetary and to continue to increase our collection here at the museum. And we welcome you to come and see us. There's no admission fee. We'll take your donations. We have parking in the back whenever we have availability, and if not, come a little later in the day. But we're always here to serve you and to take your phone calls.